What's going on, Dragon Ballers? We're here with Caleb from Shenron's Lair. Had a dope weekend, finished really well at the TOP. Caleb, introduce yourself, how'd you do, and what deck did you play?
Hey guys, how's it going? Caleb Williamson, Shenron's Lair. I made top 32 at the TOP event and just got lost out to Surge Q. It's a pretty rough matchup, but let's get over the list.
Well, he was playing the thick boy. So, real quick, give us a little rundown of Jiren, why you played him.
So, originally I didn't really know what to play. I was probably just going to play Tricolor Piccolo or something because it's pretty standard, but I saw Jiren, and the leader pretty much is like old Broly BR. On the front, you swing, take a life, and then you have a modal auto. You get a pick, draw a card and gain 5, which is pretty fire, or play a 2 or less U11 from your hand for free and get its effects, which is relevant. So that came in really nice with the backside, which I'll go over in a second. But then, so you awaken at 4, pretty standard, draw 1, untap 1. On the backside, we have draw a card and gain 5 when you attack, which is very relevant.
Yeah, free 5k combo, always good.
Oh yeah, front side and back side, he's just, thick. And then our Activate Battle is the main reason I played the deck. It says take a life, and until your next main phase, you can't be dealt damage from attacks. This is really good against literally any deck, as long as you can keep a board, because you, as it says right there, you do have to have a U11. And then Activate Battle is really relevant because you can do it on defense or offense.
Gotcha. All right, let's get into that main deck.
All right, so to start off, we need our weenies because we like to, as I call it, the bubble of justice. So we got 3 Kunshi.
Turn those around.
Oh. He's very relevant because he gives all your 2 or less barrier, including himself. Other than that, doesn't do much. We got 2 Vaughn. He's our blocker. He comes in against aggressive matchups.
Yeah, I know you said you wish you played one more, right?
Yeah, I wish I played one more because there was a lot of super aggressive decks, people just wanting to kill you. A lot of the Surge decks, they don't like a long drawn out game because they just have 2 materials under their leader to do their effects. And so if I could, another relevant thing about those decks is they don't have a whole lot of removal. So if I had a third one of these, it would have been nice, like turn 1, turn 2, just play it, block an early hit. And it's also really good against Gohan.
Gotcha.
The next one we play is Topo. He's really good because he says whenever he enters the field or leaves by a skill, your opponent discards a card, but it's once per turn. So if you do a Topo and you summon another one, it doesn't do anything.
Gotcha, so you don't want to play too many of them.
Right, so you just play 2. It felt like the perfect number. You pretty much just play it. If you're playing against Invoker, it was really nice going second. You just charge a green, swing lead, draw a card, and then actually just hardcast him to discard their hand, because if they do field spell, they're at 4, so then they go down to 3.
Yeah, put a lot of pressure on the hand.
Yeah. We played 1 Kokote. She was actually extremely good all tournament yesterday and today. She says if she's in the drop and you have a U11 on board, you can discard any card to play her for free, but then you can't play her for the rest of the turn. This was really good because the deck runs a lot of 10Ks and I don't have that much energy manipulation, so I need to keep bodies on board and have a way to cycle my cards.
Gotcha.
That's it for the 1-drop weenies. Super combos, we chose to play a 2-2 split.
Yeah, this split worked out for you.
It was really good. This card it wasn't as good as I hoped it to be, but I did like being able to search through my deck and see where's my secret rare, where's my, some other cards in the deck. You could thin the deck out, move 10Ks out, put 1-drops in the drop like Kokote. I kind of wish I played like a 3-1 split because I'll go over why later. For the intent of this card, but it was pretty good.
Wait, 3 Coquette or 3 of the Jiro?
3 Coquette, 1 Jiro.
Gotcha.
Entomb's good, but it wasn't amazing.
Gotcha.
The next card is pretty busted. If you guys want to play this deck, you should probably pick these up. This card is Jiren, Pride of Universe 11. He says discard him from your hand, activate main to choose 2 U11s from your drop that are 1-drops and play them with their skills negated for the turn.
Yeah.
The key with this card is if you trade 0-5 for 2 0-5s on board.
It's pretty good value.
Oh yeah. Value, you're trading 1 card for 10k value and 0 mana investment, as well as it helps with your Activate Battle.
For sure.
The other thing that people kept asking about this card is it's not once per turn. So if you have, 3 or 4 of them, you can just keep cycling your 1-drops.
It's pretty plus right there.
It is pretty fire. The next card that was honestly pretty good, but in certain matchups wasn't as good, is Binary Blade Casserole.
Really? It seems like a play starter. Why wasn't it so good?
A lot of people were expecting the deck in like the higher Swiss rounds and that sort of thing. So the hand size of the deck, if you choose to play a card for free with the front side, is not that big. And so if I played him, it was mainly if I wanted the successor pretty early or something like that. But he was pretty standard overall. Nice. You get to search out a 1-drop, and then when he dies, you do the same thing.
Gotcha.
The next card I played was Topo, Bestower of Justice. I liked him over Binary Blade because, 1, he has barrier, and 2, he becomes a 4-drop.
Yeah, immediate bait for the dispo, right?
Yeah, immediate bait, and then as well, he's a 16k, which is relevant.
Do you ever wish you played 4 or 3 is okay?
No, 3 because he's a 1 for 10, and he's also energy exhaust, really clunky.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty... You can also play him off leader, which was pretty good. The next card we played was 3 Surprise Attack Friezas.
Yep.
These kind of went hand in hand with this other card, Belmod. So Belmod says, activate main, send any three battle cards of yours to the drop, and then play them for free. When you play them, KO something. So what you do is you summon 3 1-drops with Jiren or Binary Blade or something. Play them for free by sending them to the drop. You trigger their leaving play abilities, and then you also get to pop a card playing Surprise Attack. It's really good for Successor. You could easily get to 12 or even 8 or whatever.
Nice.
The one thing I really liked about these two is that they're not energy exhaust. They're just green mana.
Yeah, you just charge them straight up,
Yeah, super good. The next card we have that was overperforming all weekend was Ribrianne.
Really?
Massive Love. This card is underplayed. Like, a lot of people just didn't even know about it. But the reason I like it is because, 1, it's a 20k arrival, and it KOs a 4 or less. For green, like I said, you charge this, you have a green ready. The other thing is that it KOs when it leaves as well. So most people would just leave it, and then when I successored with it, I would pop their stuff. So it's like a 2-for-1 trade.
Nice, dual value there, yeah.
Yeah. And then we're playing yellow, so I mean, Draft Box 4 is still relevant. So we play Warcry. It was really good all weekend. One of the best things was that, obviously, like I said, it's not energy exhaust, so you just charge yellow. They were kind of clunky, but then I just started charging them later in the Swiss rounds, and so that was helping them quite a bit.
Gotcha. You wouldn't change it? You wouldn't play any less than 4?
No, 4 is good.
Gotcha.
Because in the Evoker matchup, you need to see like more than 1. One of the best cards in the deck, probably my favorite card, is going to be Dispo, Unprecedented Speed. He's a successor with barrier for 1 yellow, and he's a 4 cost, so you need to sack 4 cost worth of guys. And he says when he enters, draw a card, and when he leaves by a skill, draw a card. So the cool thing with him is you can like turn 1, play the Topo, and then if you charge yellow, swing, immediately go into Dispo, draw another card, pass, or swing again if you want. And then another thing that I do with him is, I call it the Dispo loop, is when you play one and you have a lot of yellows, you'll swing, and then, they negate or whatever, 15k. You pay a yellow, do another one. You get to draw 2 cards, because this one's leaving and this one's entering.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of like the Saiyan Instincts Ape, except 1 for draw 2 and a 15k swing.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to be aggressive, yeah.
Yeah, so you can just literally loop it and draw like 8 cards. For the next card in the deck, we chose to play 2 of the 6-drop Topos, mainly because we wanted a main board out to Invoker, as well as other big threats like the Zamasu, Indestructible, something like that. Topo's cool because on Successor he gets to negate the effects of the card that you want to KO and then KO it, so it can literally KO anything in the entire game. And he does that on entering and on exiting. So he was pretty good. 2 was fine. 1 is also fine, I feel like.
In case you guys are looking to add some spice to the deck, you can get one of those.
Yep. I would probably add some Super Saiyan Broly All Out Assaults to the main board.
Okay.
The Arrival Broly 6-drop.
Gotcha.
He was just a little more relevant.
Gotcha.
So the Successor engine we ran to kind of close out the game was going to be this Goku Gohan package from the starter deck.
Yep.
Or the expert deck, sorry. It's Successor 8, so it's very easy to get out. You can just play, 2 of the Topos or a couple of Dispos or anything like that. Successor for 3. Essentially what this guy does is when you attack, you combo with the yellow Goku from the drop, which is this one. He says when you combo with him from the drop, you restand your Gohan, so he's triple duel.
But you said this was very underperforming all weekend. Why was that?
Underperforming because these are really clunky if you want to charge them. Like, unless you see it turn 1, energy exhaust, obviously. This card does nothing unless you do this, so it most of the time for me was a yellow energy.
I see.
And then the bad thing about this that I didn't like is it's very easy to kill, and it's a lot of investment.
I see.
So you have to invest quite a bit of your board for 8, and then they just, Emperor's Death Beam or whatever. Just
Emperor's Death Beam, Broly All Out Assault.
Kill it easily. And then your whole, all your steam just runs away.
Gotcha.
So those are pretty good. I sided them out quite a bit. And then we have the one-ofs. We have our one-of Saiyan Instincts. Pretty good card, draft box 4. Relevant because our Jiro super combo can tutor it from the deck, put it in the drop, and then later you can just pay 2. That's also what this is for, the Jiro, put him in the drop.
Yeah.
We play a one-of Cooler. This card overperformed literally all day.
Everyone should have a second one?
Probably, honestly. It was very good against, say, honestly, Invoker. I played it a lot. They would just get Royal Condemnation, any of my 6-drop Topo or something like that, and I just Cooler, tap them out, and then go in for the kill. As well as it gets to draw cards, and it's a yellow energy. And then big ol' Cell Xeno.
Big boy himself.
Pretty busted. Successor for 12. If you have 5 or more energy, dual attack, rip 3 from your opponent's hand of your choice, which is very relevant. He was my win con most of the day. As you can see, he costs 0 mana to Successor, so if your opponent has a response, like against Piccolo, you just mull for this and this, get your board up, Successor, they frost it, you just say nope, and then you got to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, Cooler with Secret is a nutty interaction. It was crazy in Cell, too.
It's pretty busted.
All right, let's go through the side deck really quick.
So, sideboard, there was a few changes from the regional on Friday to today's event, but I'll go through those here. We played 2 Broly.
And you said you wish this is the main deck, right?
Yeah, it's very relevant because you can put it in play on defense. So you can put it in play and then tap one of their energy for your next turn to be safe from counterplays and that sort of thing. As well as it's a 6-drop, so it's pretty easy to make 12 for the sale.
Secret, yeah.
Some people played 4. I personally liked 2 because I only really resolved it once per game.
Gotcha.
Champa, I kind of wish I mained 1. Main reason is because against a lot of the aggressive decks, they go down to 2 life, and as we were saying earlier, my leader on the back is a 20k, so I can just literally swing lead. If they don't negate, dump hand, Champa, and then they die.
Kill him on the crackback,
Yeah, so I sided this thing quite a bit. Invoker's kind of a tough matchup, so we had 4 cards for that matchup. 2 of this Sengoku in close quarters.
Yep.
He can KO the 3-drop Vegeta just by comboing him for 2. Super relevant. The only downside is that your combos can kind of be clunky if you have a bunch of War Cries and Beast Guys in hand, so you need to be careful with what you charge. And then the second card we sided for that matchup was Piccolo Jr. Arena Wrecker. This card was almost better than this card because pretty much an Invoker matchup, if they get to stabilize, they are in a really good position to win. So this helps you to kill their field spell, apply 20k pressure, as well as being a 3-drop, all for 1 green.
Yeah, destroy their consistency.
Right, and if they don't have a follow-up field spell or a check land, they're charging dual color energy exhaust.
Yeah.
So 4-card package, we pretty much just took out the Gohan stuff.
Gotcha.
1 Fu Shrouded for the long games. It won me the Cooler matchup. In Swiss, you just stall, literally Cooler matchup, you just don't play anything, play the value game, and then play this on 6 and kill them.
Gotcha.
The next card we played was a one of Jiren. This was for also slow decks, but it was okay. The concept was for Invoker, just because on 5 mana you can play it. They literally can't do anything about it. Can't counterplay, count negate. They could block, but most of them don't play blockers.
Right.
And then he's Quad Strike. A second Saiyan Instincts. This was for hand control. It came in against Piccolo, but usually didn't have the mana to do it throughout a game because I already had the 1 in the deck. And then we played another Topo. This is for decks that run heavy on bigger battle cards in case we wanted to just kill him. He never came in. In theory, this card is very, very good. It's a negate for 2 mana that says when you negate, you can play a 2 or less from drop or hand with its skills not negated, which is some of the other cards negate the skills. It was okay. It's just that it's 2 mana, so it's a very heavy investment. And if you don't have a 2 or less to play, it just feels bad.
Gotcha.
Also, it's energy exhaust. And then best card in yellow, as
Best card in yellow,
what
yes.
Joey says. This came in all the time.
Nice.
It was very good. You know, you can get Apex of Power with it, Fruit Shrouded, any of like the super rare Frieza, 100% Overdrive. Also, I just like citing it in because it was not energy exhausted. So it was pretty cool. Let me sit back and kind of play the control game.
Awesome. So, Caleb, that was a 65. Anything you want to say about the TOP and your experience?
It was really good. Everything went smooth. We used the Best Coast Pairings app for our rankings and everything, which was nice because we didn't have to use match slips. Other than that, everything was smooth. Great event. I think everyone pretty much was happy about it. And I just want to say thank you to Daylon, Mack, and Jiren's Lair. Shout out. And yeah, Crossfield CCG.
Awesome, man. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
All right.